Hello everyone, it's Jen from Old Tinkerer Studio. Welcome to the next Let's Create Blender 2.8 tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be modeling a low-poly American World War I MK I grenade. This tutorial series assumes that you know the basics of Blender modeling. This tutorial is using Blender 2.8. The link for downloading this version is in the description below. So let's start by making the grenade itself. Under your render tab, change your render engine to cycles. And under the modeling workspace, change to orthographic view. Delete the cube and add a UV sphere. Make sure you change the segments and the rings to 8. Scale the grenade to the desired size. Then select the top faces and then flatten them. Then select the bottom faces and flatten them. Select the 4 inner sets of faces. And then inset the faces. And make sure that you're insetting them individually, so you'll have to hit I twice. Then scale the inset faces out from the center of the grenade. Select the bottom faces and inset them, but this time make sure you're not insetting them individually, so hit I twice again. Then extrude these new faces down along the Z-axis. Select the top faces and extrude them up along the Z-axis. And then scale the new faces along the X and Y axis to taper them. Next, we're going to make the cap and lever. Add a cube, and this is going to be our cap. Move it up to the top of the grenade. Then scale the cap to the desired size, but make sure that the left side of the cap overlaps the grenade. Add a vertical edge loop to the cap and then slide it to the left side of the cap so it's just in front of the grenade section. And select the bottom face that you just made and extrude it down along the Z-axis. And select the rear face of the extrusion that you just made. Make sure that it is actually touching your grenade. And you may need to actually select your edge loops also and adjust them to get the right angle. Now add 2 vertical loop cuts. Slide the one on the right over towards the right edge of the cap. And select the other edge loop and move it so it is over on the right edge of the grenade. Select the bottom face that is closest to the grenade body, and then extrude it down along the Z-axis until it touches the larger part of the grenade. Then you just need to adjust the angle so it matches the angle of the thinner part of the grenade. And select the bottom face that is on the outside of the cap. And extrude it down along the Z-axis until it is midway down the body of the grenade. Then move the bottom face along the X-axis until it's no longer actually touching the grenade. Add a horizontal loop cut to this new lever and slide it up so it matches the bottom part of the first section that we had extruded. And then bridge the edge loops between these two sections. So now let's make the safety pin and ring. Add a cylinder. Make sure that it has 8 vertices. Then rotate the safety pin around the X-axis 90 degrees. And then scale it to the desired size. Then align the safety pin to the top portion of the cap. Add another cylinder. We'll just leave this as 8 vertices. This is going to be our ring. So rotate the ring around the X-axis 90 degrees. Then scale the ring along the Y-axis to the desired size. Select the front and back faces. And inset them to the thickness of the ring. Then delete the faces. And select the edges on the inner side of the ring and bridge the edge loops. make a duplicate of the ring and then scale it down. This is what we're going to use to attach the larger ring to the safety pin. Then rotate this smaller ring around the Z-axis by 90 degrees. And then align it to this front part of the safety pin. You probably need to scale this down a little bit as well. Then scale this smaller ring along the x-axis to give it a little bit of thickness. And you can also select the inner rings and extrude them to give it a little bit of thickness. Then select the larger ring, and we're going to rotate and scale this as needed so it doesn't touch the actual body of the grenade, and we want to just align it with this smaller ring. And then make any fine adjustments that you may need to. Then under the UV editing workspace, select your entire model. Since we use primitives, Blender already unwrapped the UV, but we're going to unwrap it again, and we're just going to use a Smart UV project. Then under the UV menu, choose Export UV Layout and save your UV. Now we're just going to make one simple material for this. Tab into Object Mode if you are not already in Object Mode. Open up your Materials tab and just delete the default material. And then tab back into Edit Mode. Then open up the Shading workspace. Open up your Exported UV. Then under the Materials tab, add a new material. We'll just call this Metal. And give it a base color. I'm using the hex code of 47661B. Change the metallic all the way up to 1. And change the roughness to 0.4. Now we're going to bake out our material. Down here in the node editor, add an image texture. And on the drop down, select the UV that you just opened up over here. Go back to the Render tab. Twirl open where it says Bake. We'll just leave the Bake type as Combined. And click on Bake. Once baking is complete, don't forget to go under the menu, Image, and then Save As and save out your baked UV. And there you have your basic American WWI MK I grenade. I hope you found this useful. If you follow along with this tutorial or any of my tutorials, please tweet me your creations or any creations that you make in Blender. The link is in the description. If you have any questions or suggestions for tutorials, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day.